Hi dear students, here we are for some tips for taking an exam, level A. What we can find in this video clip is a relation to some of the questions that you will find in your exams. Types of questions like dilemma questions or main idea questions. So here we go. Let's start with the type of questions of definition and listing. What is the definition of looks for a description of the term that you need to give. A definition of a certain term can be found with words like defines, means, and expresses. Another type of question that you can expect are the list questions. List the reasons, the examples, the causes. Answers to this type of question can be found by words like first, second, in addition, not only but also, or punctuation marks like commas. Now let's move to another set of questions. Questions that are very common in your exams are compare and contrast questions. For instance, a question that asks to compare two different ideas. What is important here is to relate to the same basis of the comparison. Here's an example. X is tall, Y is short. The basis of the comparison here, as you can see, is height, and that is what we compare. But not X is tall and Y is smart. So make sure that the basis is the same. Even more important is that you have to make sure that you relate to both sides of the comparison. Okay, you have to say X is tall and continue Y is short. Don't stop. Another a question where we have to show the two sides are questions that deal with paradoxes or dilemmas. Again, make sure to show those two sides of the paradox. Or in a change question where you have to make sure to show the change before and after. It's not enough just to show before or only after. Now, the type of question that deals with trend is also a kind of change, needs you to give the change. Usually something is increased or decreased. Don't forget again to mention the two sides of the change. Let's go to another type of questions. Let's go to the cause and result questions. Cause and result questions deal with things that changed, and we have to find out why. We need to find the reasons. For instance, the question, why did the changes occur? Make sure to give your notion to why. We look for reasons here. Why did the changes occur? Make sure to give here the answer with a reason. Some of you want to answer with because. Another question that looks for reasons or causes is what factors enable. Factors, don't confuse the word factors with the word facts. Facts in Hebrew is uvdot. Factors are reasons. Result questions can be what is the result of or what is the effect of. Now let's go to another set, and I would say that this question is really a question that reoccurs in many of your exams, and many students make mistakes with this question, so let's devote some more time. What does the example illustrate? First of all, make sure you understand what illustrate means. Illustrate means shows. So what does the example show? Don't forget that examples are used to support a main idea. What we are looking for in this question is the idea and not the example. So if we look again at this question, it's actually a question that asks for an idea. What idea does the example illustrate? Don't answer the example. Just give us the idea. And if we are already talking about idea, let's go to main idea questions. Main idea questions occur in every text, and if they wouldn't, you should have asked yourself, what is the main idea? The main idea usually appears at the beginning or at the end of texts. Now, in your exam, you usually get questions of main idea also in a multiple choice form towards the end, in which you need to choose between A, B, C, or D. Don't forget that there you should relate to the whole text. The main idea must relate to the whole text and not just to one section of the text. Writer's purpose links in with that. Purpose is something that we do, that the writer is doing. He tries, for instance, to present or prove his or her theory. Or the writer wants to test a hypothesis, to present a problem and to give a solution, to argue against and pro a specific idea or theory. But for you, the most important tip I can give you is to look for verbs. The purpose is to do something. The verbs are to analyze, to show, to express, or to emphasize. The purpose of the writer is to do something, as you can see here. Now let's review briefly some research terms. Very often in your texts you can find references to hypotheses, subjects, in Hebrew nechkarim, findings or results. Evidence usually refers to numbers, figures that you need to give. Study is usually the research itself. Recommendations can be found towards the end, where the writer gives us advice or suggestions what should be done or shouldn't be done. Limitations and conclusions, all of these you can again look up in your research, in your resource center. Now, how do we start an exam? We get into the exam room and we come very, very calm because it's a nice exam in English. How do we start? Well, first we look at the exam. We read the title, the subtitle, the abstract, and I recommend to look also at the conclusion. Don't forget to divide your time wisely. You have a long time, but still you have to not get stuck on a question or a word. Keep on reading. Don't devote too much time, just come back afterwards. Now, during the exam, it's very helpful if you read the first question and then start reading from the beginning of the text. And so you progress on. Stop reading when you find that it's not relevant anymore, that the text is not relevant anymore to your question. From question 2 on, work exactly as we started. Read carefully and look at the words that appear in the text that link you back to the questions. Devote about 5 till 7 minutes to a question. Now, if a question has a few items, then look at every item and devote also time for them, but not too much. Remember, go over some of the questions that you had difficulty with in your Mamanim. That can be very helpful for you. Also, items in the resource center. And of course, do your practice text. Now, to the exam, don't forget to bring your student card, this card of the exam, and dictionaries. One electronic one with new batteries, because they're going to be down for sure in your exam, but also a regular dictionary, a book. We all of level A, the whole level A team want to wish you good luck, and we're very proud of you. We know you can do it. Good luck.